Dropshipping, a business model which those looking to make money online have been utilising for quite a long while now. And as someone who's done dropshipping for about a year consistently now myself, I've seen a lot of trend changes. But in the past few months I'm noticing something which is almost so large I have to mention it. It's something which makes me question whether dropshipping is going to be a viable business into the rest of the year and into the long-term future. Now, for those who do not know, I've been dropshipping, like I said, for the best part of a year, and I've made a business which has generated well over 5 figures, over £22,000 in 2023 in revenue, and I want to tell you about what I'm seeing in 2024. So if you're interested in dropshipping and making money online, this video is for you, as I'm going to be talking about not only why I think dropshipping may be dying, and also the solution to the matter. Now again, I want to start off with the context. Of course, I've just explained that I do dropshipping myself, but I want to say, my sales with my dropshipping store have been very, very good for the past year. Even now, I'm making well over £2,000 a month in revenue, nearly £3,000 this month. It depends on the day. But what I'm noticing overall is a bit of a trend slowdown in sales for my store. Now, of course, there are a few factors that could be influencing this. The first one is the time of year. It's January, February. People may not be looking to buy lavish luxury products. The second thing is, of course, the economy at the moment, but the third thing that I'm noticing is the competition. Now, this is what I've said all the time. When looking to dropship or run any business, it needs to be viable. If I'm spending an hour a day, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, running a business, spending the time on it, I have to make it worthwhile to myself. So if I'm making sales of £10 per sale and making 5 to 10 sales per day, that's easy and very good going. Whereas if I'm doing the same amount of work, getting the same amount of sales, but making maybe £1 to £2 of profit, that's not viable. And when I look at my actual store, a lot of my items are now not priced competitively, obviously looking at other listings. And the thing is, this is not going to be something that I can improve much upon. I've had offers coming in from customers telling me about how they want to pay half the demand price, sometimes even less than that. And I look at other listings and the same thing's true. Now, you could very easily make the comment of, well, you're not in the right niche anymore. And I do agree. I have a solution to this, but I'm just explaining the context. So I've seen this all over, People are buying directly from China, from sites like AliExpress themselves, cutting out the middleman, i.e. me and you. People are simply buying from cheaper suppliers because people on places like eBay, Amazon, Etsy are selling for cheaper. And the customers are going to want to generally get the best bargain. Now, this presents a bit of an issue for people like myself because, of course, we want to keep our businesses running, but it's like, well, what do we do now? Is the dropshipping business model dead, and can we even work with it anymore? Now, of course, I must say, yeah, we can still work with it. However, we are seeing, or at least I'm seeing, diminished returns in my industry. So for a bit of context on what that looks like, I'd be expecting to make maybe £4,000 to £6,000 in revenue on a regular month, and this month I'm making just under £3,000. So you see the little trend change. Now, again, that does depend on the day. It depends on the month as well, because January to February versus February to March, my results may vary. But what I'm saying is, there has definitely been a slowdown since probably about January in my sales. And I personally believe, based on what my customers are telling me, based on what people who send me offers are showing me, and based on what other listings on sites that I sell on are showing, people who want to dropship on these sites, for some reason want to get the lowest margins possible. And it makes sense ostensibly in the sense that the more sales, the more money you make. But actually, if you're making £1 a sale versus 10 or 15, it's not the most profitable business in my opinion, but that's just me. Anyway, so that's kind of the issue that I'm seeing at the moment. Dropshipping is becoming less and less viable as the profit margins are shrinking, as customers become more aware of what's happening, and as well as other suppliers want to pay or rather sell for less, leaving people like myself with less profit margin overall, even if I wanted to dropship. So, what is a solution, and what am I going to do personally myself to kind of combat this? Well, there's a few things that I'm going to start doing. The first one's a little bit more simple. So dropshipping as a whole is a great business model. I can't really think of anything more easy, more simple, and less time consuming. You hold no inventory. It makes perfect sense for anybody looking to make money online. The trouble is, though, the methods of dropshipping that most people speak about, and some of the methods that I spoke about myself included, are now oversaturated. It's not as simple as going to AliExpress, get this cheap thing from China and sell it on eBay or Amazon. People are becoming wise to that, more and more people are doing it, so of course naturally people with the best prices win. That's not really working in my industry anymore, at least. So what is the next step? Well, we can always start off by looking for different suppliers. You know, the trouble is, all of the items that I see on eBay, on Amazon, are the same items. And that's great for the customer. But for the supplier, you know, you have to think, what can you do differently? And if you have a product that other people don't have, that's already an advantage, and that's already going to lead people to buy from you. If they can't find it anywhere else, they can't cross-reference the prices, they can't also, you know, compare or even get a better deal. You offer a decent price, make a decent profit margin for yourself as well, but obviously then you can still make sales because there's not that element of competition. Now that does of course require you to always be on your game, because you're always going to be competing against people who will start to clock onto that, and you know, maybe in 6 months to a year the same thing will happen on these other suppliers, but at the time being, this is one method that I'm personally going to be trying, and am trying, and it does seem to be working. You know, a lot of the stock that I'm shifting at the minute is the more unique stuff that I can't find on these marketplaces from other suppliers or sellers, so that's great, and that's one of the tactics I'm using into the new year, as in now, to kind of combat the reduction in sales. Now, another great method, but it is a bit more complicated, is simply switching up the business model. Now, in my opinion, a great business person is somebody who can notice trends in the market, adapt to them, and even profit more from them. So, a lot of the industries that I sell in include items like watches, luxury goods, jewellery, and stuff like that. I also have an art and craft supplies shop, which is a little bit less significant on Etsy, but I've spoken about that before. Now, that one doesn't seem to have been hit too hardly. Maybe that's because people just don't dropship on Etsy as much, or the customers are willing to pay higher prices, but that's a different story. With my main, you know, high item dropshipping stores, I'm definitely noticing that trend slow down. And I think a great way that I'm going to be combating this is going to be through sale of used items. Now, that might sound like a massive trend shift, and it is. Obviously, it's going to require me to invest money up front. Obviously, it's going to require me to whole inventory, and that's okay for me because I'm running a business. And bear in mind, guys, even in 2024 I've made decent profits so far, so I can reinvest that into the business, and instead of say buying a AliExpress watch or something like that, I can now invest in something like a cheaper or older Rolex or something like that. And even though these watches may be easily found, you have to understand with second-hand goods, there is a lot of variables which can massively influence the amount of sales you make. So, you know, just because someone's got a cheaper or dearer price, it doesn't mean that their product is better. Is it cheaper because it's older? Is it cheaper because it's more worn out? Is it a worse model? Stuff like that. That depends on what you're selling exactly, but in my industry, and the industries that I deal in, that's kind of how it works. So that's kind of my plan. I mean, I'm always going to utilize dropshipping. It's going to make me more sales still, but it's definitely safe to say that so far this year, I am noticing a bit of a step away from profitability in the dropshipping industry. Now, don't forget, like I just said, I've still made over 2,000, nearly 3,000 revenues this month, so it's not all bad. But if we're looking at a long-term trend, I'm just not sure how long dropshipping is going to be the method on a lot of these platforms, because again, people are becoming wise to it. And just like initially when people started dropshipping on their own websites, and then people started realizing that that is what's happening, the same thing might be about to happen here on places like eBay and Amazon, because everybody's doing it now, and what that leads to is more competition, decreased pricing, which is obviously great for consumers, as I've said, but as a seller, it does have repercussions. So that's something to think about, and that's the way that I'm going to be, facing this challenge going forwards. I want to hear what you guys have to say on this one if you watched all the way till the end. Apologies for the camera angle being slightly strange. My camera, or tripod I should say, actually decided to break, so that's brilliant. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.